Picture the vast Pacific Ocean, blue sky above, deep water below, stretching endlessly to the horizon. It's a place that seems peaceful, almost timeless, where the only sounds are the wind and the waves. But beneath this calm surface, tensions simmer, and the stakes are higher than ever. Cutting through this expanse, a U.S. Navy destroyer powers forward, its crew alert, every eye scanning the horizon for the unexpected. Suddenly, a Chinese J-15 fighter jet screams past, so close you can see the pilot's helmet glinting in the sun, the roar of its engines rattling the ship's steel. The encounter is over in seconds, but the message is unmistakable. This is a deliberate show of force, a warning, not a friendly flyby. It's a reminder that these waters are contested, and every move is watched. For the crew, it's a moment of pure tension. A single mistake, a misread signal, could mean disaster. Every heartbeat counts as they wait for the danger to pass. These unsafe intercepts are becoming routine, not rare. What was once shocking is now almost expected, a new normal in these strategic waters. Each one is a calculated risk, a test of nerve and resolve between two superpowers, each unwilling to back down or show weakness. The South China Sea and Taiwan Strait, once just names on a map, are now flashpoints in a global rivalry, places where history, politics, and military might collide. These aren't distant headlines. They're happening in the same waters that carry our goods, our energy, and even the flights we take for granted. Every close call is a stark reminder. The peace we rely on is more fragile than we think, and it can be shattered in an instant. The Pacific isn't just a chessboard for navies. It's the lifeblood of global trade and travel, connecting continents and economies. What happens above that destroyer could ripple out to affect us all, shaping the future of peace, prosperity, and security across the world. Why does a single near miss matter? Because it shows how thin the line is between routine and crisis. When pilots ignore safety protocols, they're not just being reckless, they're raising the risk of a deadly miscalculation. Each side is sending a message, we belong here. But the more often these standoffs happen, the greater the chance of disaster. Remember 2001, when a US plane and a Chinese jet collided? One pilot died, and a diplomatic crisis followed. Today, with more ships and planes in the region, the odds of another incident keep rising. These close calls are symptoms of a deeper problem, eroding trust and poor communication between two powerful militaries. Every aggressive maneuver chips away at goodwill, keeping crews on edge and the world on alert. The peace we take for granted depends on steady hands, and a lot of luck. One wrong move could change everything. That dramatic flyby is just one scene in a much bigger story, one that stretches across thousands of miles of ocean and involves some of the world's most powerful militaries. For decades, the US Navy has been the dominant force in the Pacific, projecting power and ensuring open sea lanes. But now, China is rapidly expanding its naval presence, challenging that long-standing order and shifting the balance of power. Beijing claims vast areas of the South China Sea as its own, constructing military outposts and airstrips on artificial islands, turning reefs into strategic strongholds. These waters are far from empty. They're among the world's busiest shipping lanes, carrying nearly a third of all global trade. From oil and gas to electronics and food, US and allied warships regularly patrol these contested waters to assert freedom of navigation. But China views these patrols as direct challenges to its sovereignty, responding with its own naval maneuvers and warnings. The result is a crowded, militarized sea, where rival ships and aircraft often operate in close quarters. Every encounter carries the risk of miscalculation, making the region a potential flashpoint. Tensions are also running high around Taiwan. China has stepped up military drills and flybys, while the US and its allies signal support for the island, adding another layer of complexity to the standoff. The Pacific has become a chessboard of competing interests, with each move watched closely by the world. The stakes are rising every day, as nations test each other's resolve. For those serving at sea and in the air, what starts as a routine patrol can escalate into a tense standoff in a matter of seconds. The margin for error is razor thin. The region is simmering with tension, and with so many forces in close proximity, it wouldn't take much for a single incident to ignite a much larger crisis. For most of us, these military maneuvers seem distant, but their impact is real and often closer than we think. What happens in faraway waters or skies can quickly ripple into our daily routines, affecting the way we move, shop, and even plan our futures. Shipping routes can be disrupted, driving up costs for everything from electronics to groceries. When ships are delayed or forced to take longer routes, the price of everyday goods can rise, sometimes overnight. Even products made locally may become more expensive, as global supply chains are tightly connected. Cruise lines may reroute or cancel trips, turning dream vacations into disappointments. Passengers can find themselves stranded or forced to change plans at the last minute, often with little warning or compensation. Airliners flying over the South China Sea could face detours, longer flights, and higher ticket prices if tensions escalate. Airlines may need to burn more fuel, adjust schedules, or even suspend certain routes, making travel less convenient and more expensive for everyone. Even a hint of conflict can create uncertainty, making travelers and businesses think twice. Conferences get postponed, business deals stall, and families hesitate to book trips, unsure of what tomorrow might bring. The travel industry thrives on stability. Military drills and close calls erode that confidence. Hotels, airlines, and tour operators all feel the pressure, sometimes leading to layoffs or cutbacks. When headlines are filled with warships and jets, people start to wonder, is it safe to go? The uncertainty can linger for weeks or months, affecting not just immediate plans but long-term travel habits. The freedom to travel and trade relies on peaceful seas and skies. Stability in these regions is essential for the smooth flow of people and goods around the world. As tension grows, so does the risk of disruption for everyone, from tourists to shipping companies. The effects can be sudden, widespread, and difficult to predict. The ripple effects of military posturing can reach your doorstep, your vacation, and your wallet. Delays, cancellations, and higher costs can all add up, changing the way we experience the world. In a connected world, no one is truly insulated from these distant standoffs. What happens in one region can quickly affect families, friends, and businesses across the globe. The stakes are personal, not just political. Every headline and maneuver can shape our choices, our plans, and our peace of mind. Enter the Fujin, China's newest, most advanced aircraft carrier. With its electromagnetic catapult system, it can launch heavier, more capable planes, including stealth fighters and radar aircraft. This leap in technology means China can project power far beyond its shores, challenging US dominance at sea. The Fujian isn't just a regional asset, it's designed to operate deep in the Pacific, expanding the zone of potential confrontation. For travelers and shippers, this means more areas could be affected by military tension. The Pacific is getting more crowded and more unpredictable. China's blue water navy is now a reality, and the balance of power is shifting. Encounters like the jet buzzing the destroyer could happen farther from China's coast, impacting more trade and travel routes. The Fujian is a symbol of ambition, and a sign that the Pacific's future will be fiercely contested. The stakes for peace and stability just got higher. Beneath the headlines and hardware, there's a human cost anxiety. Travelers planning trips to Asia now check advisories, worry about disruptions, and wonder if it's safe. The magic of travel is replaced by a nagging sense of watchfulness. It's not just tourists. Business people, students, and families all feel the uncertainty. The freedom to cross oceans and borders is built on peace, but that foundation feels shakier than ever. Every story of a close call or new warship chips away at our sense of security. We all want safe journeys and open skies, but rising militarization makes that less certain. The Pacific's tensions aren't abstract. They're personal, affecting millions of lives and plans. The desire for safety is universal, and it's being tested. In a world on edge, even the simple act of travel becomes a leap of faith. The Pacific is now the stage for a high-stakes arms race. The US and China are both building bigger, better fleets, each move fueling the other's ambitions. China's rapid naval expansion is matched by US investments in new ships and advanced weapons. Each side claims to be defending its interests, but the cycle of build-up and mistrust is dangerous. The more crowded the region, the higher the risk of an accident with global consequences. A conflict here wouldn't just be local, it would disrupt supply chains, spike energy prices, and shake the world economy. The Indo-Pacific is home to half the world's population and is vital for global growth. The race for military dominance is a gamble where the cost of a mistake is catastrophic. The world can't afford for anyone to lose, or even miscalculate. Escalation isn't inevitable. Diplomacy is still possible. The roar of jets should be a wake-up call, not a prelude to war. Open communication channels and clear rules of engagement are essential to prevent misunderstandings. Recent diplomatic visits are a start, but dialogue must become routine. A code of conduct at sea and in the air can help keep encounters safe and professional. Broader cooperation on climate, health, and trade can lower the temperature and build trust. The travel and shipping industries depend on stability. Governments must prioritize it. In a world where conflict would be devastating, leaders must compete responsibly and avoid open hostility. The safety of every traveler, sailor, and pilot depends on wise choices now. The oceans and skies are a shared inheritance, connecting us all. For centuries, they've enabled exploration, trade, and adventure. Freedoms we can't take for granted. Today's close calls are a warning. Peace requires effort, respect, and dialogue. Our leaders must see the horizon as a symbol of opportunity, not a battleground. The real challenges, climate, health, prosperity, demand cooperation, not conflict. Let's urge those in power to choose communication over confrontation. The Pacific is vast enough for everyone. Let's keep it a place of connection, not conflict. Safe passage is a universal hope, one we must protect for generations to come.